It's Christmas time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me again, Chris Smith. Now, if you saw our first part of our tops videos, we counted down from number 25 at the top of my list all the way up to the 11th slot. And to reiterate, well, you should watch the video, but in case you are just joining us, it was starting at 25, Respect, Rita Moreno, just a girl who decided to go for it, Lamb, Cinderella, Candyman. At number 20 was Street Gang, How We Got to Sesame Street. At number 19, A Quiet Place Part 2. At number 18, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Number 17, the documentary On Broadway. Number 16, Long Weekend. Number 15, The United States versus Billie Holiday. At number 14, No Time to Die. At number 13, Licorice Pizza. Then Don't Look Up at number 12. And The Eyes of Tammy Faye at number 11. And now we're ready for the top 10. This is the episode I always look forward to every year, and the year 2021 was one of my favorite years in movies just because theaters were reopening. There were a lot of movie musicals which I enjoy. Sorry, Dear Evan Hansen is not on the list. And if you're expecting The Power of the Dog to be in my top 10, it's not there either. That falls somewhere in the middle. Anyway, we're not going to worry about who's not on the list. Let's see who is. At number 10 is Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Now, this is the movie musical that is based on the 2017 stage production, musical called Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which is based on the 2011 British TV documentary, which is based on the life of Jamie, a teenage boy who wanted to be a drag queen, but was forbidden by his school to wear a dress to the prom. It's a coming-of-age musical, and it stars Max Harwood as Jamie New and Richard E. Grant as Hugo and his drag persona, Loco Chanel. It's fabulous, and I really enjoyed it. It's on Prime Video. It also came out in the theaters in limited release. Would have loved to have seen it in the theater. But anyway, now at number 9 is SpiderMan No Way Home. Now, this is the continuation of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's the third Spider-Man that we've had on the big screen, and this is his third actual Spider-Man movie. He did, of course, play the role in the Avengers movies, a couple of them. Who can keep track of all those Avengers movies? My head is still swimming about when that dude snapped his fingers and people turned to dust and disappeared. Oh, and then they came back. Spoiler alert. I don't know what was going on there, but this Spider-Man was so good. It really was a gift to the fans because I've always loved the Spider-Man movies, as I said, and it always bothered me that we would have an actor come in, do a great job, do maybe 3 movies, then poof, a new Spider-Man, and we're right back in high school. We're right back to romancing Mary Jane or whoever, and I was like, ugh, enough of being in high school. Well, this movie sort of ties it all together. And this is a big event movie. It came out in December. And kids, this is what the 80s movies were like back when we would have the blockbuster summer movies. Though this was a winter movie. This one. This was a roller coaster ride. I'm not going to give anything away in case you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know how that's possible, especially if you're a fan, but it happens. but I never saw some of these twists coming. And luckily, I saw it weeks later after it came out, and nobody told me anything, so I was very happy about that. Now, at number 8, and I think this artwork is gorgeous. It's Last Night in Soho. Now, Last Night in Soho is a psychological horror film from Edgar Wright. It concerns Ellie, a young woman who moves to London to study fashion design, and she takes a room in a boarding house where she's transported in her dreams at night back into the 1960s. And during her dream-like state, she observes Sandy, who is a singer and is pimped out by her boyfriend. Now, a lot starts happening in her life. Her dream world starts messing with her real world. It's murderous. It's filled with ghosts. It has a great 1960s era soundtrack. And it's going to make you want to time travel in your dreams. So, do check out Last Night in Soho. Now, at number 8, is it number 8? No, number 7. Do forgive me, I'm scattered. It's Disney's Cruella, starring Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil in her origin story. Now, you know, she's the villain from 101 Dalmatians, and the big screen version was that wasn't animated. The live-action version starred Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil, and then they made 102 Dalmatians. So this is the origin story. When she was younger, Emma Stone plays Estella, a girl who transforms herself into Cruella de Vil. She's a fashion designer. She's sort of mixed up in criminal elements, but she's a good girl. You love her, you sympathize. This movie takes a character that's feared like Cruella de Vil and like the Wicked Witch of the West. And in Wicked, they took the Wicked Witch of the West and did her origin story and then make you love her. And that happens here with Cruella. It's a feast for the eyes, and Emma Thompson plays the Baroness, and she is evil. So that helps with Cruella and, you know, humanizing her. And we last saw Glenn Close play Cruella in 2000's 102 Dalmatians. So now we've got Emma Stone playing it, and a sequel is already in the works. They're developing it. This one, Cruella, is nominated for 2 Academy Awards, Best Costume Design and Best Hair and Makeup, and it deserves it. Now, at number 6 is West Side Story. This is the Steven Spielberg directed remake of the classic 1961 movie musical, which is based on the 1957 Broadway musical, which is based on William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. And Romeo and Juliet, of course, involved 2 warring families, the Montagues and the Capulets. And this time, of course, they took West Side Story and made it 2 rival gangs, the Sharks and the Jets, with a couple torn in love and torn between the 2 fighting gangs. That's Maria and Tony. Oh, a classic. Now, this is nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for Steven Spielberg, and Best Supporting Actress for Ariana DeBose, who plays Anita. Now, what's wonderful is, as you know, Rita Moreno in 1962 won her Best Supporting Actress Academy Award for the role of Anita. And now Anita, all these years later, is nominated again. And Rita Moreno is in this movie, as you probably know. She is in a newly created role as the widow of Doc, who was the character that ran the store and in the original version. Now Ansel Elgort of Baby Driver plays Tony, and Rachel Zegler plays Maria. You know, Rachel Zegler was upset that she didn't have a ticket to the Academy Awards, and it was all on social media. Was she going to get to go? Because she's not nominated, but she is Maria in this big musical that's up for Best Picture. And of course, they're having her be there as a presenter. So she is going to get to be there at the Academy Awards, which is wonderful. Now, the movie was disappointing at the box office. Sadly enough, it earned $75 million dollars, and it had a budget of $100 million dollars, and of course the marketing money could be another $100 million dollars. We don't know. But it's an excellent movie, except for that ending, which I won't give it away, but why don't you know? So, yes, West Side Story. An old classic, a new classic yet again. Now, are you kids ready for the top 5? At number 5 is Disney's Encanto. Now, Encanto is a computer-animated musical fantasy about a 15-year-old girl named Mirabelle, who's part of the magical Madrigal family. Now, everybody in the family has a special gift, almost a superpower, really. Super strength, making flowers grow, talking to animals, etc., etc. The only one who doesn't have a power is Mirabelle. And she's always felt like the outcast, but of course loved. But, it was very traumatic when they had this big ceremony to see what her power would be and open her door, her magic door. The door just disappeared. Spoiler alert. And so, trauma for Mirabelle. But now, and even the house is alive and magical. Well, this little boy is getting his power, and Mirabelle has, at the celebration, has a vision of everything falling apart, and the family, the house cracking, and when this all comes out, the family starts falling apart. And I won't say too much because I want you to see this. It's available on Disney Plus, and of course it was in the theaters too, but I just loved it. Now, the music is from Lin-Manuel-Miranda. Boy, his name has come up a lot this year in the top 25. Lin-Manuel-Miranda is having a very good year, my friends, or at least had a very good year in 2021. The animation is colorful. It's beautiful. I smoked a little and then watched Encanto, and it was even more beautiful. And the music is by Lin-Manuel Miranda, as I said. The songs are peppy and fun. It's nominated. Dos Orejitos, did I say that correctly? Is up for Best Song. There's a nomination for Best Original Score. And, of course, it's nominated for Best Animated Feature. So 3 Academy Award nominations this year. And this is the 60th Walt Disney feature. So that's very, very impressive. Now, at number 4 is Belfast. Belfast is the Kenneth Branagh written and directed movie about a family who lives in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It is beautiful. Belfast, really stuck with me, I must say. This came out in November. It was the winner of the Toronto Film Festival and the People's Choice Award. And it is set in the 1960s. It's shot in black and white. It is gorgeous looking. It's about this little 9-year-old boy named Buddy and his family. They live in Northern Ireland. His pa works in England and travels back and forth and visits the family. But the rest of the family lives in Belfast. So, and there's his mother and his brother and his grandmother and grandfather. And of course, the Protestant loyalists begin attacking Catholic homes and businesses, and chaos ensues, and a local criminal wants Pa to become involved in the conflict, so the family must make a very difficult decision. Now, Jude Hill plays Buddy. Jamie Dornan is Pa. and Judi Dench plays Granny. And the film is nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Hines, who plays the grandfather, Best Supporting Actress Judi Dench, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Song, and Best Sound. So not bad, Belfast. Now, at number 3 is Coda. Coda stands for Child of Deaf Adults. And in this case, that child is Ruby Rossi, the teenage daughter of Frank and Jackie. She's the sister of Leo, and she's the only member of the family who can hear. She helps her family on their fishing boat, and she translates for them all the time. But when she sees her school crush signing up for the choir, she wants to be near Miles, so she signs up for choir. And Mr. V is the choir leader, and he helps coach her, and she finds that she has an excellent singing voice, and Ruby finds that she loves singing. It is a passion. But her family can't relate because they can't hear. So what is one to do? This movie is everything. It is a triumph. A revelation, I wrote. Now, I cried ugly tears. I won't tell you why, because I want you to see it. It's not sad. I mean, it's sad, but beautiful and happy tears. It's nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Troy Kotsur, who plays her father. Here he is with the beard. Marlee Matlin plays her mother. And everybody is excellent in it. And guess who else is in it? Ferdia Walsh-Pilo, who was in Sing Street. Sing Street is on my wall right there. You know, that was my favorite film in 2016. And there he was in the movie, and I was just so happy to see him. Yes, he plays Miles. Such a good movie. And you know, I read this week that they're making Coda into a musical for the stage. So that should be something else. Now, at number 2 is In the Heights, the movie musical version of Lin-Manuel-Miranda's hit Broadway show that opened on Broadway in 2008 and won Best Musical. It opened off Broadway in 2007. And the Heights in question is Washington Heights, which is a neighborhood at the top of Manhattan. It's a slice of life musical. Usnavi runs the local bodega and yearns to be in the Dominican Republic to take over his late father's business. He's in love from afar with Vanessa, who's a hairstylist, but designs clothing and yearns to move downtown. And another character is Nina, who's back from college, but she's dropped out and hasn't told anybody. She's afraid to tell her father, who runs the local taxi business. And Benny is her ex-boyfriend, who works for her father at the taxi place. So you see there's a lot going on. Oh, it's a happy musical. Great music from Lin-Manuel-Miranda. There's a lottery ticket, a blackout that lasts for days, and businesses are starting to move out of the neighborhood. So the neighborhood is changing, and a lot is on the line. Anthony Ramos plays Usnavi and was nominated for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy at the Golden Globes. It's directed by John M. Chu, and of course, as I said, from Lin-Manuel-Miranda, who's having an excellent year. Speaking of, the number 1 movie on my list is Lin-Manuel-Miranda's directorial debut. It's Tick, Tick, Boom! Those who have been watching my show, this should be no surprise to you. Tick, Tick, Boom stars Andrew Garfield as Jonathan Larson, who was the creator of Rent. This isn't about Jonathan Larson's death. This is about his life. This is about when he was turning 30 in 1990. And he was desperate to achieve artistic greatness. He could hear this ticking, tick, tick, tick. and he wanted to create something great before boom. And you know, he died 6 years later. He died in 1996. So, but this is set in 1990. It is a beautiful movie. It's not about death, it's about life, it's about creation, it's about art, it's about love of musical theater, but not just musical theater, any kind of art that you want to create. And it teaches us not to waste time. And I wrote, which I have made an art of myself. I waste time, and this movie really spoke to me. And it got me to writing again. I'm working on a musical with someone, and I am having the time of my life just creating. So, yay, thank you, Tick Tick Boom, and Jonathan Larson, and Lin-Manuel-Miranda, and Andrew Garfield. So, besides Andrew Garfield, who learned to sing and I think play the piano too for this movie, um, it has Alexandra Shipp, Vanessa Hudgens, Robin DeJesus, Joshua Henry, Judith Light as his agent, who's excellent in this smaller role. And it has a slew of Broadway veterans. It's nominated for 2 Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Andrew Garfield and Best Film Editing. But for me, it is the tops of 2021. So, if you have not seen Tick Tick Boom, please do so. Do yourself a favor. It is so wonderful and happy. And watch some of these movies if something grabs your fancy that I've talked about in the last 2 parts. 2021 is about movies coming back better than ever, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay, goodbye everybody. Thank you for watching this long video. It's Christmas time. See you at the movies.